Listen to me, because we need to talk about your money, and we need to talk about it right now. You have worked hard. You have put into the system for decades. And now, you are standing on the threshold of retirement, looking at that Social Security check and wondering, am I getting every single penny I am entitled to? The fear is real. The fear that you're going to leave money on the table. The fear that once you press that button and file your application, you've made a mistake you can't take back. And there is one strategy that has been whispered about in retirement circles for years, the restricted application. But here is the problem, the rules have changed, and if you don't understand where you stand today, in 2026, you are going to be making decisions based on old news. So, what is the restricted application strategy? In its simplest terms, it was a loophole, a way for you to have your cake and eat it too. It allowed a person at full retirement age to file an application that was restricted to only spousal benefits. Why would you do that? Because it allowed you to pocket a check based on your spouse's work record while your own personal retirement benefits sat in the background, untouched, growing by 8% every single year until you reached age 70. Think about that. You're getting paid today, while your future raise is guaranteed. It sounds like a dream, doesn't it? But here is the wake-up call. The Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015 set a ticking time bomb on this strategy. If you are watching this today, you must understand the line in the sand. The restricted application is only available to people born on or before January 1, 1954. If your birthday is January 2, 1954, or later, I am so sorry, but this door is closed for you. For you, the law now mandates something called deemed filing. That means when you apply for one benefit, the Social Security Administration deems you to be applying for everything you are eligible for. You don't get to choose. You get the highest amount you're entitled to, and that's it. No more restricted choices. Now, for those of you born before that 1954 cutoff, and yes, there are still many of you who have delayed your benefits, this is your final window. You are likely already past your full retirement age. If you haven't claimed yet, you need to ask yourself, am I leaving spousal money on the table while I wait for my age 70 maximum? But for the rest of you, the vast majority of people retiring in 2026, the question isn't, can I use the restricted application? The question is, what do I do now that it's gone? The problem is that many of you are still trying to use old world thinking for a new world reality. You're hearing advice from friends who retired 10 years ago. They tell you about these fancy strategies, and you go into the Social Security office expecting a certain outcome, only to be told no. That creates panic. That creates a feeling that the system is rigged against you. It's not rigged, it's just changed. The strategy now has to shift from restricted applications to coordinated timing. If you are married, you are no longer looking for a loophole, you are looking for a bridge. You have to look at your combined life expectancy. You have to look at who the higher earner is. Because even though you can't restrict your application anymore, the survivor benefit rules haven't changed. If the higher earner waits until age 70 to claim, they are maximizing the check that the surviving spouse will live on for the rest of their life. That is a massive actionable takeaway. If you are the higher earner, your decision isn't just about your check, it is about the insurance policy you are leaving for your partner. I want you to stop and think. Are you filing at 62 because you're afraid the money will run out? If you do that, you are taking a permanent pay cut of up to 30%. In 2026, with inflation where it is, can you afford a 30% haircut for the next 20 or 30 years of your life? Probably not. The restricted application was a great tool, but for most of you, it is a ghost of retirement past. Do not waste your time searching for a loophole that doesn't apply to your birth year. Instead, I want you to focus on the 8% rule. For every year you wait past your full retirement age until age 70, your benefit increases by 8% simple interest. There is no investment on Wall Street right now that is giving you a guaranteed, government-backed 8% return. None. So, here is your action plan. First, go to ssa.gov and pull your statement. Look at your birth date. If you were born after January 1st, 1954, accept that deemed filing is your reality. Second, if you are married, sit down with your spouse and look at both of your numbers. If one of you is born before that 1954 cutoff and hasn't claimed yet, run, don't walk, to a professional to see if you can still squeeze out that restricted spousal benefit. Third, for everyone else, coordinate. If the lower earner needs to claim early to provide cash flow so the higher earner can wait until 70, that is the new restricted strategy. It's about building a bridge to that maximum payout. You have to be the master of your own destiny. You cannot leave this to chance, and you certainly cannot leave it to the person behind the desk at the Social Security office to figure it out for you. They are there to process your claim, not to give you a financial plan. Be strong. Be smart. And most importantly, stay informed about the rules as they are today, not as they were yesterday. Your retirement security depends on it.